Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Sunday, May 29th slate of NBA and MLB action. Yes, I'm super excited for the NBA to be back. We do have a very, very, very exciting game on, and I can't wait to watch it. And hopefully we can go ahead and win our bet with it as well. Now, with all that being said, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, like I said, we do have a Game 7 on, but we also do have a lot of baseball going on. So I'm really excited to watch some baseball as well. The earliest game actually starts at like 10:30. I think it's like 10:30 Central Time, so like 11:30 Eastern. So it goes from then up until I think the last game. The first pitch is at like 5:30 or something Standard or Central Time. So it's pretty much all day, but they are definitely trying to get these games over a little bit sooner in the day, which is not a terrible thing for me because I'm definitely going to be watching Game 7 of the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Man, I'm super excited for it. I'll give you a lean towards the end as well. But you never really know with those things. I'm not putting any money on the spread because the odds of me getting it wrong are very, very high. But I did find one player prop that I really, really, really like. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll do a quick recap from yesterday. We did end up going 2-1 on our plays yesterday. We did have Texas and Oakland under 7.5 runs. I still feel like it wasn't a terrible play. The Texas and Oakland really just got it going in the last like 2 or 3 innings and really just crushed the over with it. But then we did have the Mets money line. That one did end up working out for us. And the Miami and Atlanta Nerfy. That one also ended up working out for us. So we're 1-1 on our Nerfy plays. I don't have any for today, but maybe we can improve that record here in the near future. So without any further ado, this video is probably going to be a little bit weird. It probably won't have any great editing or anything like that. I basically just got way behind on everything with my brother's graduation party today and stuff like that. So without any further ado, though, let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. So our first play of the day, we're taking Marcus Smart over 3.5 rebounds here versus Miami at -110 odds. Now, if you take a look at it, Marcus Smart has hit the over in every single game in this series. He's had 4, 5, 4, and 9. And in one of those games, in the second game where I mentioned that he had 5, he only played in 24 minutes of that game, and he still was able to hit the over. So I do think that we are going to see a Marcus Smart pretty good rebounding game here versus Miami. Also, this is Game 7. This is a Game 7. Like I said, all the stars are going to be coming out to play. That's why I was so scared to take any that's why I see a ton of value in the rebounding lines, I see a ton of value in the rebounding lines. I think a bunch of people are going to hit their rebounding over, and I think that the stars are going to hit their points over. So I think that Jimmy Butler's over is a good look. I think that Jason Tatum's over is a good look. I think Jaylen Brown's over is a good look. I even think Bam Adebayo actually has a big game, believe it or not. So, but like I said, it's a Game 7. He's going to see a ton of minutes. I would not be shocked if he saw over 40 minutes in this game, which he has only seen one time in this series. Also, I haven't fact-checked this, but the over-under is set at 195.5. If the over-under is 195.5, I'm pretty positive that that is the lowest over-under that we have seen in the entire playoffs. I haven't fact-checked it. I haven't, looked at anything. But that over-under is super, super low. So these odds makers don't really expect a whole lot of points to actually be scored. So with that being said, where are all those other possessions going to go? Missed shots. So hopefully Marcus Smart can get in there and get us 4 rebounds. Maybe we could even cash it by halftime, call it quits, But also, in the last 3 games, Miami, they do allow the 13th most rebounds per game to opposing teams. Now, why this is huge, because it's not a huge advantage, but the reason being is because over the course of the whole season, they have allowed the 3rd fewest rebounds per game. So they have really allowed a lot more rebounds here coming in the they've allowed a lot more rebounds here coming in the last 3 games. So they have just been giving up a lot more rebounds. And also, in the last 7 games, Miami, they've allowed the 12th most rebounds per game to opposing point guards. Another key fact as to why this is huge, over the course of the season, they've allowed the fewest rebounds per game to opposing point guards. So they have really, really laid off on the rebounds, especially when it comes to the point guard position. So I think that we see a ton of value here, especially for a minus 110. It definitely could be a trap, and Marcus Smart could play 45 minutes and grab 1 rebound, but I truly don't foresee that happening. I think that Marcus Smart is able to get at least 4. I could see Marcus Smart having a really big game today, especially on the rebounding side of things and the assists. I like his rebound and assist line too. He's been a huge contributor to this Boston offense and defense, obviously, with just everything that he brings to the table. So that is our first play of the day. Marcus Smart over 3.5 rebounds versus Miami at minus 110 odds. Now, for our 2 MLB plays today, we're going to be taking, the first one's going to be the Dodgers, a team total over 5.5 runs versus Arizona at minus 120 odds. Now, if you take a look at it, the Dodgers in this series so far, they've scored 14, 6, and 3 runs. So I do think this is a pretty good bounce back spot for them. They did end up winning the game versus Arizona, but they only won by 1, and the final score was 3-2. Obviously, they scored 14 runs in the first game, so they're definitely capable of scoring on this Arizona team. And also, Zach Davies is going to be on the mound with a 9 ERA versus the Dodgers, and so that's obviously a huge advantage for us. He does not pitch very well versus the Dodgers, and on the year, just in general, he does have a 4.81 ERA, which is nothing too crazy. So it's just very average, and giving up a decent amount of runs for sure. Also, Arizona is 23rd in the entire MLB in most runs allowed, so they do give up a ton of runs. So I think that we do see a ton of value here, so they give up the 8th most, excuse me. Let me reword that. Also, in the last 3, the Arizona, they do give up 7.67 runs per game in their last 3 games. And also, Dodgers, they're first in runs. They average 5.63 per game. So if they end up getting just 1 more run than what their average is, we win this bet. So I think that we see a little bit of value here, so we're going to be riding with it. Dodgers team total over 5.5 versus Arizona at minus 120 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we're going to be taking the Brewers and the Cardinals over 7 runs at minus 120 odds. Now the Cardinals, I have taken their under multiple times and I've been wrong. I think every single time that I've taken a Cardinals under. But I think this is a good spot for the over here. Now, it definitely could be wrong, but I'm just going with the trends, going with the stats. So, the Cardinals at home this year, they're 14-8-1 to the over. So they definitely hit the over a lot more often than not. They are a very great hitting team at home, so hopefully they can keep that up. And so far, these 2 teams have played 2 games, and they have had 6 runs and 11 runs in their last 2 games in this series. So over 1 and just barely under on 1. So I think that they are able to get at least 2 more runs here for us. Also, the Brewers, after a loss, which they did just have recently, they are 11-4-2 to the over. So that speaks a lot of volume there. We definitely see an advantage when it comes to the Brewers following a loss. And also the Cardinals bullpen, the Cardinals bullpen in general, they do give up a decent amount of runs. I don't have the stats with me, so I do apologize about that. But a lot of the bets that I took their under on, they gave up in the last 2 or 3 innings. They gave up a ton of runs in the last 2 or 3 innings. And that is where I lost literally all of the bets was in the late innings. But also in the same retrospect, that is where the Cardinals shine. The Cardinals really shine in those late game situations, hence the walk-off grand slam a couple nights ago in extra innings. But the bullpen Cardinals, they do give up a lot of runs, but they also get a lot of runs in the late innings as well. So with all that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. That's our final play, Brewers and Cardinals over 7 runs at minus 120 odds. So that is going to do it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.